Assalamu alaikum, sir. This is Abbas speaking, and my team members are Hammad Aziz Sheikh and Hammad Nadeem Khan, and we are making the game Tetris. For today's progress video, we have primarily focused on the UML, and we have just started implementing. We have barely started implementing our grid logic, but we have started planning that out. Um, Based off of the UML that you can see in front of us, you can see that all the different shapes have been given separate classes that are inherited from the class of Tetris block. And so far, we plan on implementing a few functions such as rotation, get score, and drawing in these individual classes of different shapes. However, getting score we will have to look into further because we are still not aware of how the scoring works in the game. But we will eventually get to that as well. And each of these classes, child classes, do not have many attributes to them, but the block class will have multiple things such as the color and the dimensions. And we have attached an image, and we will get its coordinates using the same website that we used for our homework. And um, we will most probably change colors, etc., based on as we go along the way. um, this class of There will be a few separate child classes for the class Tetris, which will also have the implementation of the blocks, and it will have multiple different functions. This is the primary class where the principles of the game will be working, such as scoring, the different movements of the uh, blocks, removing lines, checking if the line is complete, and game level and all we will try to implement to the best of our ability, such as easy, medium, hard, where we will just increase the speed of the blocks. um, and we will also be using we so far we plan on trying to implement a timer so that over a set duration the amount of score we can accumulate over that, and we have a separate class for that. Game status will also keep a check of the score, etc., and it will have a separate block where it will keep updating the score. Run music is very straightforward. We will just implement music in the background, and the interface will it will basically check the clearing of rows, checking if the game should be over or not, and the validity of the moves. Then this one also checks if we want to continue to play the game or quit with our own choice. And the and Tetris interface is also basically checking the main parameters, the main principles of the game, such as what moves are valid. Our block does not go off of the screen. And the game canvas area is where we will be using most of our drawing implementations, such as the different shapes. And we will be using vectors in that to move the shapes across the screen in whatever way we'd want to. So far, we have made a basic layout for the grid logic in gridlogic.hpp, and here are some of the functions that we have to check for all the different to make the different shapes, to select a shape, rotating shape, moving the shapes. We will be initializing the grid here. We will be printing it. We will have two different grids. One will be the shape grid, one will be the grid of the game itself, and we will be drawing these grids separately. And there will be one for moving the shape down using the down arrow key, and updating the grid will be updated constantly to reflect the changes that are made in the game. And so far we have only made the constructor for it and initialized the two grids, and we will start working on these functions soon. And we have just made a very basic one, which is selecting the shape, which will generate a random number, and based off of that it will select which shape to draw. Thank you, sir. This is all the progress we have made so far.